And we are back again, once again. Actually, this is like the first time ever that this is actually happening, but nonetheless, we are here, we are now, we are the future. this we're having fun with this anyway, but yeah, so basically this is a my thoughts, our thoughts, your thoughts on the upcoming newest addition to the Pokemon franchise, Pokemon Go. Now, this game is obviously a mobile only game. It'll be for the Android and iOS phones, so Galaxy iPhone users galore. Um, and yeah, it's pretty much just gonna be the type of game that you're not really familiar with, in the sense that it's not your typical RPG where you're just roaming the world within the game. You'll be roaming the world you live in. This is a real life type of game where they want to make emphasis on the whole Pokemon in the real world. And by that, you actually have to go out, leave your house, and travel your area, any type of other areas. This game will pretty much be as deep as you want to make it. So, and of course, they wanted to also share, well, not really share, but just say in general that, obviously you're catching, you're trading, you're battling, you're even playing together, and you're playing together in such a massive way this time around that you are uniting for the first time in a Pokemon game like this. So this is actually really interesting. Looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot of other people are looking forward to it too. But yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of the game itself. Now, I know that my man Tempest is waiting to say something about the reference to Ingress, which is where this game pretty much stems off of. So go ahead, let us know what's up with Ingress.
Well, I mean, in Ingress, they actually used the entire map of the area that you live in, and they have these portal spots. They're like hotspots that you can either take over, you can steal from another player, or obviously you can maintain, and then you can either, you can only do so much by yourself, but this is where other players come into hand, players that are on your side, and they can help reinforce things. But it does use your GPS and your location to allow you to do stuff for, around the world or the area that you're in. So that means you have to get out, you have to travel, you have to walk or drive or whatever. And coming together, that's an important thing, because sometimes in order to take a portal down, you need more than one person, especially depending on your level as it goes.
Right.
What I see with this game is obviously you have to search for Pokemon, something quite similar to what they did in the X and Y and the Omega Red and Alpha Sapphire series, with that detector. And I'm guessing, once you find your Pokemon, it doesn't look like you might need to battle your first one. I'm wondering if they're going to give you a starter one, or you actually have to go out and catch one. Safari Stone style.
So. Yeah, well, I would hope, but that would be kind of cool too. Either way, that'd be all right.
Yeah, I mean, you always wonder how certain people, like, they only have one Pokemon, and it's like something that's not a starter. Maybe they just happen to, like, somebody just handed them a Pokeball and was like, yo, go catch one.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if they actually stray away from the what we're used to with, starting off with one of the three starters, fire, water, or grass, and they basically just, like what you said, paying reference to like the Safari Zone tactic with, trying to get one from scratch, and you just whatever you run into, and that's your starter. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I would accept it, because I'm not I'm not the type of gamer that's just like, oh no, you gotta do it like this. Like, no, like I'm open to new things, and this is new, a whole new thing for Pokemon, especially. So
Yeah. And I mean, it could be the closest thing that we get to like how everybody's like, oh man, if things work like it did in the anime. And I'm like, yo, just think about it though. Like, it'll be kind of dope because that means we'd have more involved battles.
a lot of dodging.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's just like, yo, the other crazy part about it is like when you think about the fact that they were able to capture like starters in the wild. Like, if you remember the trailer, like the dude called a Charizard.
Yo, I hope that stays in the game when it comes out.
Like
I really
I do. Like I hope they allow you to do it. And then like it's other crazy things. Like I wonder if like the legendaries that they when they pop up, like if everybody gets one, who participated in the battle to try and capture it, or if it's just like the person that did the most work, or maybe the person that initiated it, or the last hit. Like I wonder how that's all gonna work. I know sometimes in Ingress people will work together, and then they'll make sure that the last hit goes to whoever has like the highest level for the portal, so it can do the most. Like sometimes they do that. It all depends, but I like the working together. I really like the fact that it's encouraging people to go out and like walk and explore.
Yeah, and speaking of exploring, one of the new additions to this game that I don't think Ingress had was the Pokemon Go Plus device. That it actually kind of looks nifty. They made it in two different styles. Well, not really styles, but it's the same device either way. One way you can wear it around your wrist as like a bracelet, or you can wear it as like a pin accessory. But either way, it's pretty much just a Bluetooth oriented device that vibrates. So there's no like screen, there's no like, I guess like audio indicator to the player at all. It's just a simple accessory looking Pokeball type thing that, like I said, you can wear on your wrist or like have it as a pin. Pairs via Bluetooth, has LED and vibration functionality, and the whole basis of this is so that players aren't stuck looking down at their phones.
Yeah.
Now, that's actually really cool, and especially when it comes to exploring. Like one of my biggest concerns is like, if you're just going about your day, going from A to B to C, like everyone has their daily routines and all that kind of stuff. I'm wondering if this game, like if you could just, have it open, I guess, in the background, and your phone's just in your pocket, your bag, whatever. But if you have this Pokemon Go Plus, let's say you're just walking and you just you get the notification, it gives you a little buzz, notifies you that, oh, there's like something in front of you. Then you can like look at your phone as if you were to like just check your phone to see if someone texted you or something. And that way it's like, I feel like, not to hide it from people, but like I feel like that would actually be a really smart way to just play the game often, but also play it in moderation. So that way it's like you're not getting this, you're not creating a world that's just so glued to their screens. I mean, we're already glued to our screens, but that was definitely a concern of mine, of how like involved you really had to be. So I hope that that's how it works, but we won't really know until then, or later on.
I think it'll be a better thing as far as that's concerned, to just kind of get the buzz and notification that you're around something. Simply because it's less involving to have to constantly check your phone than Ingress, because like Ingress, oh my god, that just sucked your battery up so badly. And
oh yeah, speaking of that, they did mention, well, I don't know how true this is gonna be, but like as far as the Pokemon Go Plus, they mentioned how it was gonna be low battery, so like kind of meaning that like it wasn't gonna drain your like battery entirely.
Well,
So
I can see how it wouldn't. If it's like a Bluetooth pairing, it means it probably has its own. And the only thing that really is extra draining is whenever it notifies you.
hmm
Uh,
yeah, low
like
energy.
any other app that you have on your phone, you know.
Yeah. So I hope either way they like I hope they take all of the I guess Ingress's issues that game may have had, and they like address them with this game, and they just make it a lot better. And I mean, not for anything, Pokemon is a franchise that's loved by several different age groups, especially children. And for a game like this to be released worldwide, and obviously kids are going to be playing it, like kids younger than you know what you would expect. They have smartphones at this point in their lives already, which is bizarre. But I feel like they're gonna, I would hope for this game especially that they would I guess make it so that way you can still encounter Pokemon like in your area, like especially if you live in a city, like in an area like myself where you're like surrounded by woods. You could swear up and down that the Three Bears and Goldilocks are your neighbors. Like you're totally surrounded. Like I feel like I would hope that they would make it so that way it's like, okay, like if I were to go to my backyard, I would find a couple Pokemon. If I were to go to my basement, I would find a couple Pokemon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be nice. So hopefully, because I tried playing Ingress myself, and personally, I definitely thought the concept was cool, but like I said, like there was no areas by me. Like I thought that I could just walk down the hallway in my house and I would find some, but it's not like that. It's
No,
like,
because the portals are actual like
yeah, they're like monuments and stuff
monuments and
like
other
that.
places. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
what I think would probably be kind of a cool thing with that one too is just it's like making that work. Maybe they have like an encounter rate for certain areas, so that way it
Mhm.
doesn't matter where you're at. Somebody had actually mentioned something, which is a thought of mine too, is that there may be Pokemon that are kind of like specific to your area. So
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
maybe if you live like in a more desert-based area, like for the United States, it'd be like Arizona or someplace like that, or maybe out towards the Middle East where there's a lot more dry land. Maybe there's Pokemon specific to there, and then you can trade back and forth with other people that might be looking for stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely see this game creating like a forum or a community essentially, just so that people that can't afford to take these excessive trips just to obtain new Pokemon for themselves. I mean, and that's another thing. Like, I really want to see and hear people's stories that really want to go hard at this game, and they just, a bunch of friends just pack up and they just literally travel around everywhere just so that they can feel like they're living the Pokemon dream of becoming a trainer, master, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be wild.
they've done that with Ingress. Like people have actually done like mass Ingress wars. It's kind of crazy. So I could see that happening with Pokemon. Now, here's another thing that I thought might be interesting. Granted, it only applies to certain sections of Japan, America, France, and I think part of Russia. But it's the if they're going to keep regions. So, like in other words, like for us, it would be the I forgot what the Japanese name is, the Unova region, or
Mm-hmm.
or was that the I don't remember which one that was. But yeah, the Unova region, And then for Japan, obviously you have Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the closer we
And
get
Hoenn. There we
towards
go.
the closer we get towards the release of the game, I'm sure we'll be treated with more information to to I guess talk about and all that stuff. But I mean, as of right now, well, one more thing before we close out, I wanted to go back to when you brought up the whole uniting thing about like what happens when you encounter a legendary, and then especially paying reference to the Mewtwo section of the trailer where it's like everyone, I'm pretty sure that's Times Square, right? Or it's
Yeah,
like some,
it looked like
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, like everyone in that city is all like they're all battling Mewtwo, and then Mewtwo gets captured. So the question remains, I would assume, just based off of the trailer, like everyone's celebrating, I would assume that when you are in a massive battle like that requires several hundred people to, be involved in a 10-minute long battle, I feel like everyone who participated in that will leave with a Mewtwo, even though that doesn't really make sense. But I mean, it is a video game, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, before we go, the other thought is maybe it unlocks the possibility of getting a Mewtwo. So, like, while one person might have walked away with a Mewtwo there's still maybe an unlocking chance where maybe a handful of Mewtwo's can actually be found. I think that might be kind of cool too.
Yes, but I mean, you also have to think about it this way. It's like everyone in that trailer was hype and happy. There was not one person that was like, man, I didn't get Mewtwo, what the hell? So that's another, I guess, way to look at it. So I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna work. But as with any other game, things can definitely change, between now and its release. And like we mentioned earlier, it will be released in March. Well, not March. What am I saying? March. That's what I feel. That's what I want it to be coming out. But no, it'll be released in 2016, sometime next year, for both Android and iOS devices or mobile phones. I would assume it's going to be on iPad too, but that's just me. So, any last words, thoughts, concerns?
Honestly, the only really last, at least with a concern, is just I hope that America starts adopting some of the more commonplace things in Japan that have been there for a long time, like the Wi-Fi thing. Because Japan, there's Wi-Fi everywhere.
Well, it's very selective. I will say that much. There's a lot of Wi-Fi, but it doesn't mean it's open.
They might have changed it because there was a lot of open Wi-Fi when I was there, dude.
Yeah, there was. There definitely was, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot more locked ones now.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, like, there'll be enough open Wi-Fi for them to do those kind of big things, especially in a city like Tokyo.
Yeah, definitely.
And all its various spots.
And my last thought, actually, it's a good thing I'm catching myself now on it now. Oh, now, but I said now like 5 times. But Junichi Masuda, creator of Pokemon, one of the original creators, mentioned that he wants to try and incorporate some type of way for this game to coexist with the main titles of the franchise. So just with that thought alone, I mean, as soon as he said that, I got extremely hype. I was like, oh my god, I was like freaking out because I was like, that'd be crazy. And not to mention, here's another last tidbit for you guys to just sit on and just let it sink in, is that next year is the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and the fact that this game is coming out, Pokken Tournament is coming out, I mean, why not release release a brand new franchise title. So it's like you have the 3 Pokemon games just dominating next year. And then if you have this Pokemon Go intertwine with whatever the next game is, whether it's a 7th generation game or if it's like a Z version, doesn't matter. That would be freaking awesome.
I agree.
Yep. So with that being said, this is Uchi and
Tempest.
freaking signing out. We'll be back once again with another thoughts video on whatever the hell we feel like talking about. Thanks for watching.